Welcome to the part 2 of Accounting for Non-Profit Organization. Well, my students, in the first part we had studied about what is a non-profit organization and how it is different from a profit-making organization. We also had studied about the similarities, that is the similarity in bookkeeping or keeping its books of accounts. We had studied about the characteristics of a non-profit organization in our previous part, and also we had learned about the financial statements. Well, talking about financial statements, we had already studied about the first part, that is receipts and payment account prepared by the non-profit organization. Let us recap it very quickly that all the receipts, that is all the cash received by a non-profit organization, are recorded in the debit side of the non-profit organization's receipts and payment account, and all the payments, that is all the cash payments, are recorded in the credit side of the receipts and payment account. I had also discussed that all the revenue and the capital receipts are recorded in the debit side, and all the revenue and capital payments are recorded in the credit side of the receipts and payment account. Today we are going to discuss about income and expenditure account, and I, Dr. Aarti Mudaliar, Department of Commerce, Bhopal School of Social Sciences, am here to discuss the second part of the financial statement, that is income and expenditure account. Well, my students, the income and expenditure account is a nominal nature account. It is just like the profit and loss account prepared by a profit-making organization. Therefore, it's a nominal account based on accrual system. Well, the accrual system says that whether the expenditures are paid or not paid in cash, it has to be considered. Similarly, all the receipts or all the incomes, whether have been received or not received in cash, but if it relates to the current year, must be taken into consideration while preparing the income and expenditure account. So based on this concept or based on this principle, we will understand that how the recording is being done in the income and expenditure account. Well, let me tell you that all the receipts in the receipts and payment account makes a very good information for preparing the income and expenditure account. That is, the revenue receipts in the receipts and payment account becomes the income for the income and expenditure account. Similarly, the revenue payments recorded in the receipts and payment account becomes the expenses for the income and expenditure account. Let me tell you it in detail. That is, all the expenses which are paid in cash will be recorded in the debit side of the income and expenditure account. That is, you need to simply take the items credited in the receipts and payment account to the debit side of the income and expenditure account. But mind you, you should never ever take the capital expenses to the debit side of the income and expenditure account. And we had very clearly discussed that what all are the capital expenses in our previous part. Now talking about the incomes. All the revenue receipts recorded in the debit side, I am telling you again, all the revenue receipts recorded in the debit side of the receipts and payment account are directly taken to the credit side of the income and expenditure account, being the income of the current year. Now, while doing so, we need to keep certain things in our mind. The most important thing to be taken into consideration are the adjustments related to the incomes and expenses. Well, talking about adjustments, these are similar to the adjustments we have studied in the preparation of financial statements of a profit-making organization. Yes, you have already studied in your previous years that how the various adjustments are made while preparing the final accounts at the end of the year. Now, let us recall it. If talking about expenses, if an adjustment related to outstanding expenses are given at the end of the year, then what do? Of course, we add it to the concerned expense because it has incurred in the current year, whether paid or not, it will be considered for the current year's expense. Similarly, if any expense has been paid for the next year in the current year itself, but it doesn't relate to the current year, that is why such recorded expense are deducted at the time of preparing final statements, because the accrual concept says whatever has occurred in the current year will be recorded in the current year. Just the same way, while preparing income and expenditure account for a non-profit organization, we need to consider these adjustments. Well, the adjustments can also relate to the previous year as well. Now, let us pay attention to all these adjustments very carefully. Well, apart from the receipts taken from the receipts and payment account and the payments taken from the receipts and payment account, there can be certain other elements which will be included in the income and expenditure account, and those are depreciation, provisions, and also profit or loss arising out of sale of any fixed asset. We will learn about all these things in detail in the coming part. Well, this is how an income and expenditure account will look like. These are all the expenses recorded in the debit side of the income and expenditure account, which were shown in the credit side of the receipts and payment account in the payment side. Alright, so we must very carefully pick up all the revenue payments and debit it in the income and expenditure account. But remember, whenever we are debiting all the expenses in the income and expenditure account, do not forget to insert the adjustments related to it given in the problem. Now, what can be the adjustments related to it? We will learn one by one. Number one is the outstanding expenses of the previous year. Well, if any outstanding expense has been added in the previous year's expense and given to you as an information for the current year, it means that the payment has been made in the current year. But no matter what the payment has been done, it will not be included in the current year's expense because the expense has been occurred in the previous year. Therefore, this means that a deduction related to the outstanding expense of the previous year has to be made in the current year's expense. Similarly, any prepaid expense done in the previous year, the balance would be given to you as the opening balance of the prepaid expense or prepaid expense in the beginning of the year. Now, such an expense has been paid although in the previous year, but it belongs to the current year. That is, the expense has been incurred in the current year, but the payment was done in the previous year. Again, even if the payment has been done in the previous year and not in the current year, it will be included in the current year's expense. Well, the adjustments in the end of the year we are already aware of. That is, the outstanding expense in the end of the year are added to the concerned expense, and similarly, the prepaid expense related to the current year are deducted from the concerned expense. Now, this is how the accrual concept works. Based on this, we get the real amount of expense incurred in the current year, whether paid in cash or not paid in cash, but will be recorded in the current year's income and expenditure account in the debit side. Well, talking about incomes, the similar adjustments are done to the incomes as well. Now, as we know that the incomes are quite unique in case of a non-profit organizations. So, let us talk about the very first income, and that is subscription. So, let us understand how the subscription is recorded in the credit side of the income and expenditure account and what all adjustments are required for subscription. Well, we can record the subscription by adjusting it in a statement manner, or also we can make a subscription account for a better understanding. First, let us understand it in the statement form, and for an easy understanding, let me tell you that the very first thing taken for the adjustment of subscription is the amount given in the receipt side of the receipts and payment account. That is, the total amount or the aggregate amount given in the debit side of the receipts and payment account will be written first, because this is the entire amount received as subscription for the current year. Now, what do? We add to it any advance subscription given of the previous year, that is received during the previous year but relating to the current year. Why? Because again we know that the accrual concept says that any income that arise in the current year, no matter when it is received, will be recorded in the current year's books of accounts. Similarly, any outstanding or any accrued income in the end of the current year. All right. Now, in this chapter, there is a unique word used for accrued income, and that is outstanding income. It is one and the same. So, any outstanding income in the end of the year also has arisen in the current year, hence will be recorded in the debit side, and therefore, you shall add it to the amount received as subscription. So, two things, let me tell you again, two things which are added to the total amount received as subscription are subscription received in the previous year in advance for the current year and subscription accrued in the current year at the end. Now, the deductions related to subscription. The first deduction being the outstanding subscription of the previous year. Well, this outstanding subscription was accrued in the previous year, therefore, it must have been added in the previous year and received in the current year. But since it does not arise in the current year, it will not be recorded in the current year's books of accounts. Therefore, this means that it will be deducted from the amount received as subscription. So, the first deduction is the outstanding subscription in the beginning of the year. Second, if we have received any subscription in advance for the coming years or for the next years, it means that it will be deducted from the current year subscription because this does not arise in the current year and belongs to the next coming years. So, hence, if any advance income or any advance subscription has been given to you as an information, then please deduct it. So, two deductions to recall is the outstanding subscription of the previous year and advance subscription of the current year. Now, the amount you will get after deducting and adding these two amounts will be the actual amount to be credited in income and expenditure account. Now, coming to the most important adjustment related to consumable stores. Well, there are n number of material which a non-profit organization may use. These material could be sports material, could be medicines if it is a medical institution or a charitable hospital. It can be stationery which is normally used by any organization for recording the books of accounts or for maintaining office. Now, these consumable stores are actually assets, but the amount which is consumed during the current year, or we can say which has been utilized or the benefit has been taken completely in the current year, becomes the expense for the current year. So, therefore, we must understand the adjustment related to these consumable stores. So, the first thing to be taken for this particular adjustment is the amount paid for the consumable stores, which will be given to you in the payment side of the receipts and payment account. So, first of all, write down the amount paid for the consumable stores. Then we need to add a few things. Number one, the opening stock of material given to you in the question. If any opening stock is there, that means that it will be utilized in the current year. Hence, it becomes the expense for the current year. Therefore, it will be added to the amount paid. The second thing to be added is the closing creditors of the current year. Now, the closing creditors of the current year means that some purchases have been done for the material during the current year, but on credit. But even if the credit material has been purchased or it has been purchased on credit, it belongs to the current year and therefore will be added in the current year's expense. One more thing is to be added, and that is the advance paid in the previous year. Well, any advance paid for the material to the suppliers of the material belongs to the current year and therefore must be added in the current year's expense. So, therefore, let us quickly revise that how many items are added to the amount paid for the material. Number one, the opening stock of the material. Number two, the advance paid to the supplier in the beginning of the year, and the closing creditors given to you in the question. All right. Now, similarly, three things are deducted for calculating the correct amount of consumable stores to be debited in the income and expenditure account. Now, the three things are just the opposite of the items you have added. So, therefore, the first thing you will deduct will be the closing balance of the material left in the end of the year. Now this is an expense which will be incurred in the next year, therefore it has to be deducted from the current year's amount. The second thing which will be deducted is the advance paid to the supplier in the end of the year. This also makes it very clear that if we are paying any advance to the supplier, definitely it will be supplied in the next year and will become the expense of the next year. Therefore, this also will not be considered as an expense for the current year, hence will be deducted. And the last thing which will be deducted will be the opening creditors. Now, the opening creditors are the amount maybe which have been paid to the creditors, but for the previous year's expense for the consumable stores. Hence, it will be deducted from the current year's expense. So, again let us revise the three things which will be deducted from the amount paid as consumable stores are the closing balance of the material in hand in the end of the year. Number 2, the advance paid to the suppliers of the material in the end of the year, and the opening creditors. Now, after adjusting these adjustments given to you in the question, you will get the exact amount to be debited in the income and expenditure account as material consumed. Apart from that, there can be various adjustments related to depreciation. Now, valuation of depreciation we all are very much aware of. It is simply applied on the fixed asset given to us as per the method. Well, the methods could be the fixed installment method or the straight line method or the original cost method as the case may be, and the written down value method or the diminishing balance method. Well, we have lot of synonyms for these methods. So, as per the method provided to you in the question, we can evaluate the depreciation to be applicable on each type of fixed asset. But remember, if any such adjustments are given to you in the additional information are not to be ignored and must be included in the income and expenditure account. One very useful information related to the sale of fixed asset is, well, whenever any fixed asset has been sold in a non-profit organization, always remember that the sale proceeds cannot be recorded as an income in the income and expenditure account, but definitely any profit or loss arising out of this particular sale will become income or expense of the current year. So, therefore, we must always remember that whatever amount of the asset is given, we have to compare the sale proceeds with the book value. If the book value is more than the sale proceeds, then definitely we will incur loss, and this loss will be debited in the income and expenditure account. And if the book value is less than the sale proceeds, then definitely we have earned profit and it will be credited in the income and expenditure account. One more thing I would like to tell you, that is the sale of the sports material or the medicines or stationery, that is consumable stores. If any amount of consumable stores are sold during the part of the year or during the year, then that also must be taken into consideration. That is, in what condition this sports material or any consumable store as such has been sold. If the sports material is completely scrapped off, then the entire sale proceeds of the sports material will be credited to the income and expenditure account, considering it as an income for the current year. But if the material is useful, that is, it is not being scrapped off, it is not obsolete, and still the benefit can be derived out of it, if such a material is sold and the book value and sale proceeds both are provided to you in the question, then the profit or loss arising out of this sale of useful material only will be taken in the income and expenditure account. Let me tell you with an example. If the sports material sold is of rupees say 4,000 and the book value is 3,000, but it is not the sale of scrapped off sports material, then the difference between the book value and the sale proceeds will be taken in the income and expenditure account. Now, here the book value is 3,000 and the sale proceeds are 4,000. Therefore, we have earned a profit of 1,000 rupees, which will be recorded in the credit side of the income and expenditure account. I hope you all have understood the various adjustments to be done in the income and expenditure account. Now, after doing all these adjustments, we will find the total of the credit side and the debit side, and find the difference between the two. If there is an excess of incomes over expenditure, we will get surplus, which will be recorded as the balancing figure in the debit side of the income and expenditure account. And if there are excess of expenses over incomes, then we get a deficit, which will be recorded as a balancing figure in the credit side of the income and expenditure account. Now, this surplus or deficit is definitely going to be adjusted in the capital fund, and that we will study in our next part. That is, in the next part we are going to study how to prepare balance sheet and what are the adjustments related to balance sheet. That's all for now. Stay safe, stay healthy.